recording. So first and foremost, guys, it's really awesome to see you again. It's been way too long, and this is overdue, to say the least, just to have a call. You know, I still have this team page, Team Euphoria, and I'm going to be the first to say that I have been completely derailed from being active, as you know. It's just my life has gone in a direction that I did not expect. And just to share with you a little bit as to what has happened with me personally since April of last year. That's when Connor was born. Nobody ever told me that having two children was a little more challenging than one. So all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, this is just so much. And I have all these balls in the air. And at the same time that Connor was born, I've had some really great things happen in the world of the health club industry with Gold's Gym and where my career has gone and the initiatives that have opened up for me and my family and Tammy, and we're building a new gym. And I've been out on the speaking circuit quite a bit in the industry. And while all this is well and good, in the back of my mind, I've had this like, feeling like shot in the gut about my Beachbody business, because I just feel like I did so much for a period of time, and then I just came off the tracks. And rather than come back onto the team page, I chimed in here and there, and I was like trying to say, okay, I'm going to regroup. I'm going to get this thing rekindled in terms of more education, more training that we can continue to grow together. And it just never happened. The last real attempt that I had was with the launch into the UK. I was really excited about the possibilities with that in terms of us all being able to expand and grow, and some education that we could bring for that. And Greg and Christina, as you know, did an amazing job with the work that they did to literally build a team before the thing even launched in the UK. I mean, they did it better than anybody in the network. I was very inspired by that. And I actually invested with Fraser Brooks. I don't know if any of you are aware of him, but Fraser Brooks was just a kingpin and a guru on network marketing and how to really build an organization. So I invested $1,500 and worked with him and really got an understanding of what I needed to do. And all the while that this was being taught to me, I had like Gold's Gym completely yanking me in this other direction, and Connor and Cole and my family life. And I just got to the point where I was like, I burnt out, you know, and I think it happens to a lot of the coaches. I hit the burnout, and I didn't come back on and say, guys, I'm so sorry. I am just fried and I just can't do this right now. Instead, I just kind of went silent. And for that, I really do apologize. And I've had multiple conversations with Bob through the past several months. He came down and visited me probably about 3 or 4 months ago. We had lunch, you know, and I explained to him what I had going on in my life. And he just said, look, you have this team and this organization that are still out there. Some are doing some really good things. Others are just kind of being the discount buyer coach, which is fine. But we believe that there are people who still really would like to work this business, be it part-time or full-time. And he's like, you know, leverage me, use me the way you did in the beginning. And that's what I did in the beginning. Like when I signed up as a coach, Bob was there and he ran these education groups, and I was like plugging new coaches that I sponsored into this education, and I was learning from Bob. And then eventually I just ran it myself, which is what we all want to do if we really want to build an organization someday. And so what Bob and I felt we should do today with this call was really answer the question, what the hell is going on with the company Beachbody? You know, Beachbody as a company and Team Beachbody as a coach network. What is going on with this organization, this company? Because I think there's been a feeling amongst many coaches, and I won't deny I'm one of them, that I'm not so sure this is going to continue for the long term. Are we going to see this thing just completely dwindle away because on demand and these new initiatives are not conducive to consumer buying in a way that we can reap the rewards of commissions? So all these things are going through our minds. And we've also seen through the total earnings in the network, it is down. Like a lot of coaches have jumped ship. They've said, I'm done. I'm moving on to other companies because they have decided that they don't want to ride out, call it this negative wave, this trial in the cycle that a lot of companies experience. And so when I was talking to Bob, I said, look, for the long term, like I had built a substantial business in this. I mean, I jumped in full board for 3 years. And I mean, you guys know what I was doing month in and month out, running these education groups, and it worked. Like I built a successful business, and that business continues to reward me today, which, by the way, is the really cool part of this business model. When you put in the time and the energy and you go full board for a period of time, doing the right things consistently, month in and month out, you can build a passive residual income that when something comes up in your life that derails you and takes you in another direction, the business continues to pay you. And that has happened for me and Tammy in a very big way. I'm not saying we're making the money we were a year and a half ago, but we are still making a substantial income because of the time and energy we put into building what we built. And I share that with you because I think for a lot of you, there's a crossroads, there's a decision to be made as to, all right, do I even want to stay in this? And if I do want to stay in this, to what capacity? Am I looking at this as something that I really want to build an income that gives me time freedom someday? Or am I looking at this as, no, it's just this part-time thing that, hey, if I can get a couple $100 a week, I am cool with that because I've got my other primary career that's pretty much my main bread and butter. If this can throw me a few bucks every month, I am so happy with that. And that's how you approach the business. And you put your blinders on to all the other incredible success that you keep seeing or hearing about with the elite coaches and the coach leaders and this and that. You got to just blank that stuff out and focus on what do you want to achieve? And then how do you get there? Or do you have to look out and say, this company's not for me because I see another business opportunity that I want to invest my time in because I believe in it. But more importantly, I believe in the products or the programs that another company might represent. That is the thing that keeps me with Beachbody. Despite all of these pretty rough cycles in the business, nothing, as far as I'm concerned as a fitness professional, nothing out there will trump these programs and products. It's just that good. So there's no way that I could personally go to another company and then turn around to all the people, my circle of influence, and say, oh, by the way, I got this other thing going on now. You know, and it's somewhat related to health and wellness, but I've vacated my other company. I couldn't look somebody in the eye and do that because I've committed myself so wholeheartedly to Shakeology and the fitness programs of Beachbody, and I still stand by them as the elite, the best. Never mind the business model. Maybe it's not the best business model, as we all kind of feel sometimes. But what I'd like to do before Bob and I unveil what we're bringing to the table now, before we talk about this initiative that we're bringing to the team, I want to turn it over to Bob so that he can share his personal experience from being a member of the Coach Advisory Board a few years ago and being intimately close and familiar with the long-term business goal of Beachbody and the clarity and vision that they had a few years ago when it comes to the dip in business they were going to experience and what they were going to do following that. You know, it's kind of interesting. When Bob shared this with me, I was like, wow, you know, it may become the case that there are coaches who really kick themselves in the ass in a couple of years because of the long-term intention that this company has. Even though we've all taken a hit, it's been rough sailing for a lot of the businesses out there because of changes that they've made. But there's a longer-term agenda to this whole thing. And I want to turn it over to Bob to share what he shared with me the other day. So Bob, over to you and, you know, kind of your story and what you believe the company's going to in the future. Bob.
All right. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Happy to be here.
If you don't
we got a little bit of some thunderstorms coming in.
Go ahead, Bob. You're up.
I was going to say we got a little bit of thunderstorms coming in. So if the audio kicks out or something, just somebody wave your hand so I don't keep on talking. But hopefully it'll stay good and clear. First of all, hi, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here. As Don said, Don and I have worked very, very closely, way from the very beginning. In a time where Don grew and kind of went off leading his own team, but we've still stayed close and continued to talk. And it's kind of coincidental that Beachbody is where it is, that at a time where Don was going through all the sort of personal things that he was just talking about. And then he and I coming back together to kind of brainstorm again and say, all right, asking ourselves the same question that is sort of the title of tonight's call. What's going on? What's up here? Because as Don said, and as any coach and all the corporate folks as well will acknowledge, the last year and a half has not been the easiest. We have hit a little bit of a flat line. And the interesting thing is with our business is that we've been on this hockey stick rise for the entire life of this company. And so that brief little level off kind of sent some shock waves through. Oh my God, we're not doubling and tripling our size every year all of a sudden. But we were taking a flat line, and actually some of us saw a little bit of a dip. Now for me, my organization is big enough that I didn't really see a dip. And that's one of the things Don and I are going to talk about when we unveil what we want to talk about. Because just like what Don said, even having kind of been distracted for a year and a half, he still has a good, solid, sustainable income. So do I. Mine didn't diminish a bit over the last year, at least not because of anything having to do with any volume across the network. And it has to do with the way we built. And we want to talk about that. And back to Don's specific question, what he asked me sort of face-to-face, eye-to-eye, as a upline partner, what do you see? And why aren't you shocked by what has happened in the last year and a half? And what I said to him is, here's the deal. This was completely foreseen to some extent. And when I look long-term, and I look ahead long-term, I have complete faith in the long-term sustainability and viability of what we're doing, what Beachbody's doing. And here's a piece of why. As Don said, I had the privilege of sitting on the coach advisory board in 2013 and 2014. You get a really close inside look of what the plans are. You sit, in a board meeting setting with the corporate leaders, and the long-term or sort of 5-year vision or whatever it is shared. And what I said to Don is, you know what we've just experienced is pretty much exactly the way the plan was laid out. And, I can't share specifics of what were shared in those meetings because of confidentiality and all of that. But here's what I can tell you. It was always known that Beachbody On Demand would roll out first as a beta program. And it was even announced as a beta program. And that basically we would be giving the library and getting the technology up and running, but there had always been the plan. But then there would also be a rollout of what you're seeing now, this sort of VIP membership, pay as the new ones come out, similar to what you see in Netflix or Hulu, which for us as coaches brings back those volume spikes that we didn't see for the last year when those new programs were coming out. But that wasn't a mistake. That was part of the way it was rolled out. Now, I do know and fully believe too that the technology took a little longer to straighten out. So I'm not going to say it was 100% as planned, but it fell within that realm. The other thing that you've seen is the transfer of the product line. But again, it's not that it was not planned or foreseen. P90X recovery formula, it was okay. It wasn't high quality. we want to be the Mercedes-Benz of health and fitness. We want to be, like Don said, when you look at the products that we share, they're the top of the line and they're not going to be beat. Well, P90X results in recovery would have been beat, right? So we replaced that. Those old bars we had, come on, I like them, but they're crap in terms of really telling somebody this is something you should put in your body. But now we've got the replacement. And again, it took a little longer than, I think was really ideally planned, because when you take one product and you replace it with another, you want that to be seamless. Well, all right, we all know the last year to year and a half was not seamless. But here's the good news. That was foreseen, and the further plan of that is, as we're seeing, that replacement process is continuing. The performance line is part of that. I don't know if you guys are using and sharing the performance line. I get great mileage out of performance line. In fact, I'm finding people like that almost better than Shakeology now. And not that I think it's a replacement, because I think they're different things. But in terms of what happened with our library and our catalog shift, that has a big thing to play in what we saw. Now, what happens also in network marketing is, although traditional businesses do this all the time, when a network marketing business hits this, sometimes there's a little bit of panic that goes through and a little bit of shock. And we have seen that in the network, and we've seen people leave, we've seen people do whatever they do. But as Don said before, and as I say, and maybe even louder and stronger because I wholeheartedly believe it, I believe that's going to come back to be seen as potentially a mistake, and mistake might be the wrong word because everybody's got to go wherever they got to go, but lack of foresight in terms of where Beachbody is going, because that continual rollout and transition, we're in the process of that. And so, back to just kind of underline the point that Don made, and I think that what I can bring to the table, having looked under the hood a little closer, having sat on CAT, this wasn't really so much of a surprise. This transition and changeover has been part of a master plan and a long-term plan. And having been someone who's been in here for 10 years and seen that side of the picture, there is a sort of a deeper understanding of the continuation of that long-term. There's no doubt about it that the corporate team knows as well as we do that consumable catalog needs to keep growing, is growing, and I believe you'll continue to keep growing. So I'll hand it back to Don in terms of unveiling what we want to do together, but to just sort of to hedge it a little bit, the focus is to kind of bring that back to focusing on, for those who want to continue, for those who continue to believe in the products that we're sharing, continue to believe in what we're doing, and want to continue to do that, to help, hopefully, bring a better level of support in terms of creating long-term sustainability. Don and I have both been able to do it. I've had the blessing of being able to help many people in my own organization get to that place. And it's gone through vehicles like what Don and I are trying to put together for you guys right now. So did that? I know I probably went way off to the corner on that, Don, but did that kind of answer what you were asking?
It's great. It's great. It's just it's nice to hear, because you've been closer to the behind the scenes stuff than any of us. So to hear that, look, they knew this game plan was in place, and they knew they were going to take a dip. But the longer term picture is that they're going to start layering in stuff again to continue bringing this back up to a positive direction. It's almost kind of like, you got to weather the storm. And where I wish, and I said this to Bob.
We're not hearing you, Don.
Sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hold on, can you hear me?
Don, your audio's cutting out.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna try to rejoin. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Hold on.
All right, there you go. You're back.
Yeah, hold on. I just got to get.
You basically cut out.
I got to get to a hard line in the gym.
All right.
I'm almost there.
You basically cut out right when I wrapped up. So.
Okay. All right.
You got to start all over.
So the other thing too, while we're waiting for Don to plug back in, so sort of some of the new layers coming in that you see with like the 2B mindset and Beachbody on Demand expanding now into even broader channels. Again, it's not happenstance. Part of the long-term vision included growing into that. And then you see the 2B mindset is a new price point. So it's not just anybody comes into BOD gets everything anymore. And I think a lot of people got scared about that. But remember, that was the beta. And now we've turned the corner. And so you'll see that continue to grow. I believe, again, I don't have anything official, so I'm not making any official announcements on this. But I believe, based on what the original vision was, that you'll see more of that kind of expansion. And certainly you will now see with every new program that comes out, this new VIP thing, which again gives us those volumes. So it's kind of putting us back in a sense to what we experienced before. And the plan and the vision is that not just to go back to what we used to have, but to have something much better. And although there was a little hiccup hitting us there, that's the plan, and that's part of what you're seeing. Part of that started with Autumn's recipe channel. And again, beta, testing it out, but it's this idea of expanding what we offer, and it will all, along the way, create those separate price points, which brings volume spikes back to us. So, Don, you back and settled?
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Amy, your question about BOD being possibly a monthly fee, I don't think they would head there. I don't know. Bob, any comment on whether it become a monthly fee? Right now, it's $99 for the year. It's pretty.
Yeah, there's also, I do believe there's a quarterly payment option now too. So there's those two. I don't know if it'll ever go. Yeah. I don't know if you'll ever see it go to monthly. But again, the real basis here is, and sort of the long-term vision is, remember, Carl and John were infomercial guys. And so they're looking at seeing TV's going away. And so the vision with all this BOD stuff, the long-term vision isn't just, hey, let's get our stuff on streaming, but let's be ahead of this curve so that as TV moves over really to online streaming, right, and really specialized, right? So where are you going to go when you want the online streaming, health, fitness, nutrition, full package support? And that's really the long-term vision for BOD. So I think that as the things go on, my understanding is you'll see it continue to get more and more complex. Maybe someday it'll go to some kind of monthly thing. I don't know, but I do firmly believe that we'll continue to see these new price points being created, right, as we've seen with the VIP and now the new mindset channel. That will continue. That's part of the long-term, or at least my understanding of the long-term vision. Again, I don't have any official announcements here, and I'm not sharing any confidential information. So all the kind of disclaimers running underneath here. But, I can only share, and again, it really all comes down to when Don and I met, person to person, and he's just said to me, where's your faith, and why are you so deeply, 100% in? What is it? Talk to me about it. And these are the things that I've seen, that I've watched unroll, that give that to me. And
okay,
all I can do is share, and all I can do is say, I'm here, and Don's here, and what we want to bring to you is a whole new opportunity to go deeper for those who want to go deeper. So back to you, Don. Cool.
So on that note, just cutting to the chase, this is what we are proposing to the team. I'm in the middle of building a new 53,000 square foot Gold's Gym. So do I really have a lot of time? No. And it's very exciting.
A little side hobby. I'll be going on.
It's like, so you do that for 12 hours a day, and then you go home, and then the work begins with the kids. You know, and it's just insanity. It's just way too much going on at once. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it. It's my passion. But I do believe that I can carve out some time to get back to sharing the education that I think I can help with the most. Like the area that I'm strongest in is, how do you talk to somebody about health and fitness, and in a way that's not salesy, in a way that inspires them to say, I want to work with you and I'd like to buy whatever it is you recommend for me. Like, how do you get to that point where somebody's like, tell me what to get? That's what I'm good at. And that's what I do day in and day out in the gym when it comes to people buying memberships and training in the gym and things that cost money. Shakeology in the gym, which, by the way, is gangbusters still. You know, it's because I just know how to talk to them about it. And I want to get back to sharing the things that I say and do with these people all the time in the gym that you could kind of learn from and pull from, so that when you talk to people in your circle of influence, you'll be like, "Hi, this is not hard to do. It's pretty easy to get customers." And that is first and foremost in being a Beachbody coach. You got to get some customers that become wholehearted believers in what these programs can do for them. So with that, Bob and I are proposing to carve out what we call a mastermind group. And this mastermind group would meet every 2 weeks, maybe around this time. We haven't finalized it yet. We're open to suggestions, but we were thinking maybe around 8 p.m. every other Wednesday, that whoever wants to jump on, it would just be different topics for discussion, open dialogue, Q&A, where are you struggling, maybe an education topic every other week that we come together. There's actually a specific topic that you'll know in advance as to, oh man, this is going to be really good for me. I need to know this, or no, I got that. I don't need to hear that. Maybe I'll just jump in for the Q&A part 15 minutes into the call. So we'll structure it in a way that there's like new education of a specific topic or two, followed by open dialogue, Q&A, and the things that are hurting or the things that you're finding to be challenging in the growth of your business. And that's it. It's that simple. This isn't Coach Basics. This is, how can we help you? What kind of education would enable you to build your business a bit more and help more people? But before you even get there, it goes back to deciding, do you want to do this? And because you're on the call, I believe the answer is yes. I do know there are other coaches out there that have checked out, and I get it. And you know what? I wish them nothing but success in whatever they choose. We all have reasons for making the decisions we make, and you got to follow your heart. And if your heart is, this business, I've really given it my all, and I'm burnt out, I want to try something different, go for it. And I encourage you to go for it. But please make sure that you look into whatever company it might be that you would go to. New companies are scary. New products are scary, especially when there's no track history, and especially when you have spent so much time out there as a Beachbody coach ranting and raving about these fitness programs and Shakeology and all the other things that we represent. And all of a sudden it's going to be like, that's gone. I'm now selling wine. Say again? No, wine doesn't work. Let me go sell vitamins. Huh? That is something that a lot of people will see through very clearly when it comes to you starting another business. Are you in it for the business model? Or are you in it for, what do you truly believe about the products and what they can do for people? That is everything. And any other thing you choose to do that's not behind the products, people will see right through it. So just take that into consideration with whatever decision you make. Bob and I are going to put this out. We will begin this mastermind group for anybody who's part of Team Euphoria moving forward. You can invite your downline. You can invite guests. We can do prospect calls again for potential coaches, and whatever it is that you feel would help your business grow. Here's the other thing you want to think about. To what extent? And really dial it down to basics. Do you know that as an Emerald coach, just Emerald, you sponsor 2 coaches, you can earn up to $250 a week. If that's all you want to earn in this business, then let's focus on getting you to Emerald and helping those 2 coaches you sponsor attract a lot of customers. That's your business model. It's forget about everything else. Forget about elite points. Forget about all the other rewards and recognitions that this company brainwashes you with, and just look at, what do I want to achieve? That's what I became. That's what I got to with my organization. I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I achieved 6-star diamond. And I actually said to myself, I don't need to be at this rank, because I'm never going to maximize my volume and my bonuses as a 6-star diamond. I'm just not going to put the time and energy to get there. What do I really need to maintain for rank? I just need to be diamond. I'm happy being diamond because I can earn $2,000 a week, and that's all I want from the Beachbody business. Those are my financial goals with this company, and I've made that very clear. Tammy, here's where Tammy's at. Tammy's no longer diamond, she's ruby. I said to her, you can't drop below ruby. Ruby is where you have to stay so that you can get $1,000 a week. So those are our goals. I want to be diamond. Tammy, stay ruby. $3,000 a week. We are so happy with that. And I think a lot of people would be happy with that. But that's how simple it can be. Forget about all this other stuff that the company, like you go to a summit. I haven't been to a summit, and this is the 3rd year that I missed. So I've missed the past 2 summits. And as exciting as it is and as good as the education is, it's almost deflating because there's so much recognition that you're not getting that you start to feel like, is this business really for me? Because all you're thinking of is, well, they're doing all those great things and they're probably making $1 million a year. And gosh, I am never going to get there. But is that your goal? If it's not your goal, then just forget about all that shit and focus on, what do you want to achieve? That's simple. So you have to really conclude what it is you want to achieve as a Beachbody coach, the rank, the income, and then we back you into the business training to make that happen. Forget about the whole high and mighty, you got to get the star diamond, you got to do this and that. You don't have to. You don't need to. Simplify your business and your goals and do the necessary behaviors to achieve these goals. That's what this mastermind group will do for each and every one. So with that, just see it. I know there's a couple chats that came in. So that's awesome. You know, if the goal or passion is to help people get healthy, this is the biz. Fitness and nutrition. It's as good as it gets with this company. Don't complicate it. Do you know that for our Gold's Gym Challenge this year, we had 365 participants. This was in January, go through a 12-week program in the gym. Every single one of them was given the portion containers to help with portion control. And we derived our meal plan from the portion fixed meal plan, and the results that we saw were just dumbfounding. People were like, what are these people doing? And I'm like, they're eating right. They're understanding portion control. It's just, these products are so amazing. You've got to use them the right way and work with the people the right way. And I'm not going to jump ship. I'm back here. I'm not going to be all in on my business. I'm telling you that right now. But I will be on this call at least once a month, ideally twice a month. But I know Bob will be there every other week. And I will do my damnedest to be on it every other week as well. So with that, guys, anything you want to ask or bring to the table, or ask hard questions, or this is meant to be total transparency. If there's things that you're unhappy with, go ahead and voice it. If there's things that you're thinking about, ask questions. Over to you and anything you want to share.
I'll share something.
Let me just jump in 1 minute before you open it up, Don. Just let me just give a little bit of background about what Don just said, because I think it's so important. And the reason that I've seen these mastermind groups have such success is I brought them around my organization. that exact point. The first thing we have to help you do is figure out what you're trying to achieve. Because the value I think I bring to the table is an expertise with the comp plan and really understanding how to help people maximize benefits under the comp plan for where they want to be. And Don and I have talked about this since he first came into business. And if you guys have been to any of my trainings, you've always seen me. I'm not a guy who says, go for 15-star diamond or 10-star diamond or any of that, even though I've hit, my rank has never been, out of sight, but I've hit most of the recognition things in the business. But more importantly is always asking your question as a business owner, where do I want to be in the business? Because the likelihood is diamond to 2-star diamond is where people want to be, but they don't hit it because they're shooting for some other targets that don't make sense. Because diamond to 2-star diamond, just as Don said, when you do it correctly and you backfill it, is a 6-figure to $250,000 a year income. For most of us, that's where we're trying to get to. And the frustrating part is that we don't see ourselves making our way getting there. But most of the time, it's because we're not building correctly. We're not going after it correctly. So I just wanted to make sure that I threw that in as this kind of, that'll be the focus. And now back to everybody, please chime in. And like Don said, questions or comments about anything. As he said many times, this is really as much a sort of reunion, refresh, revival call as anything else. So, what's been going on and we want to hear from you. So,
and I haven't missed one day of Shakeology in like 7 years. Freaking incredible, man. It's like
6.5 years, Don.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It is forever my life shake. It's crazy.
Awesome.
One of the things that that I really want to stress is working at retention, because we can get as many coaches as the world allows us to get and as many customers as the world allows us to get. Retention is where the big volume will be. And that's what most coaches have the biggest issues with, is retention. So that's something I think that we should probably mastermind work on.
Love it.
What are your thoughts, guys?
It's like the business. It's like the gym business, Shannon. Retention is the number one thing that hurts the gym business. It's like a revolving door. So what are the things that we do to keep our members engaged, to say, I want to keep coming, or I don't want to cancel my membership?
Right. We don't ignore them, number one. We don't ignore them.
I feel like for me, it's a challenge to, because not all, I got a lot of customers, from Beachbody, and most of them, and I meet a lot of people that aren't on Facebook. They're not going to do a challenge group. They don't want to do, they don't even want to do the challenge tracker, so you're going to have people like that. So I think for me, the challenge as far as retention and connecting with people is making the most of emails. Maybe we could talk about that, like how to stay in touch with our customers. That's not salesy, that's relational, that is a connection, that an email from us as their coach versus just from Beachbody, that they'll open it and it's not going to be super long, but something like that. I feel like that's what I'm starting to think as far as me personally training, because I'm losing a lot of people that way.
Here's my thought, Lisa, and if I can just chime in. I send out emails to my customers every week or every other week. And some people come back and say, please take me off your mailing list. I don't care. Who cares, right? But most people don't say that. And I don't use the Coach Online Office to do that, because I have no idea the way it's set up now. I have no idea whether people are even getting those emails. Nothing's coming back to me. So I set up Shannon's Ageless Fitness at gmail.com, and that's where I'm sending my customer emails out to. And I've gotten several responses, because Gmail's, I guess, just really good, but I don't know if Bob and Don, I don't even know if you know that, that anything you send out from the Coach Online Office, we have no way of knowing if it got to them. We have no way of knowing anymore if they opened it, if they even saw it. And that was one of the biggest things I loved about the old Coach Online Office. And now we don't have that option, but I have that option now because I send them through Gmail.
Go ahead, Bob.
So yeah, go ahead, Bob. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I was going to say two things. So two things. One thing, first point on that is understand too now that the new coach office is beta, just like BOD, and it will be improving. And they're moving everything over still another year or so. So that's number one. But also number two, I've always used outside email. And I think as a business owner, you want to build your own email list anyways.
I agree.
I really do believe that. And you guys just made two great points, because again, this is some of the stuff we want to talk about and to come out in the discussions. There is not a cookie cutter way to build this business. And we need to have these kind of discussions so that people find the way that they do the business. I'm not a challenge group guy. I've never run challenge groups. I do one big fitness page. Shannon, you're on it. Maybe a few of you are. It's that Bearcat Den. It's my own personal accountability. Any of my customers go in there. I invite coaches in there. I'm not huge social media. I'm trying to get better at it. But Lisa, just like you, I'm a person-to-person person. And I always have been. And that's the other cool thing about this business. You don't have to recruit a million coaches.
Right.
I've been in the business for 10 years. Up until about a week ago, when some things transitioned, I had about maybe 30 personally sponsored coaches, but a 35,000 person downline. And back to retention, it's about who you're bringing in as coaches. You don't need 1,000 coaches. You need a handful of coaches. Like Don said, hold the appropriate rank. What is it? And the right people. And just like you said, Shannon, who are going to stay there with you.
Right.
And so that is some of the stuff we will definitely be diving into, because that's the meat of the business. How do you get the right people in the right places, set it up to maximize the comp plan, and set it up so that it retains itself? All great pieces. And
I think too, the point you guys are making, like for me personally, I think there's a trend happening in society. I might be wrong, but I know I'm starting to feel it. I have friends that are feeling it. Social media is burning people out. It's like, oh my God, it's just so overwhelming. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. And it's just living on your phone and not being present in the moment with people around you and life in general. It's starting to hurt.
I was just going to say, I totally see that. And my joke this summer was that I'm bringing back a phone call.
Love it.
And granted, I'm new. I've been coaching for 2 years, but honestly, last year, nothing. Like it was flatline. I was spending more money than I was doing because I was all in when I initially started back in like March 2016, where I did a 40 days to diamond. It was awesome. It was like this, but I didn't really learn how to do this.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, get this done, do this. And I was like, looking back now, I'm amazed that anybody bought anything from me, because who was I to tell you to do this? But yet I had a diamond, and I'm thankful for that because I receive information now. So the last year, nothing. It wasn't until this past January, and I don't have a team. Like my upline has gone on to other things and other things again, you know, I don't know if you can hear me, but,
Amy, you're part of our upline. You are.
Thank you.
Yeah. Renee, I sponsored Renee. Renee sponsored Letha. Letha sponsored you. So
I'm with you now.
Absolutely. You're
okay. And I'm in, and I'm all in. And can I just tell you, because I got out of my comfort zone in January and signed up for 80 day, and I was like, what the hell? Why did I do this? And I put myself out there looking like a fool, but I was like, you know what? I don't care. So I did my workouts every day. And now, but I keep having people, and I've been patient, and it's like, they'll just message me out of nowhere. My challenge group are people from like high school. I haven't talked to them in over 20 years, awesome. But it's great because I'm not pushing it. I was like, you know what? You want it bad enough? Dude, I have 3 kids. I work full time. I teach pre-K ESC. If I can make the time to get my butt out of bed, you can do it too. So when you're ready, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And I received the best compliment today because I was researching, like, why would these people leave and do this? Like, if you're wholeheartedly in it to win it, then I guess I just don't understand that, to go leave to another MLM or something else, I don't understand that. But I had one person, I messaged and I was like, hey, are you aware of this company? I'm like, everybody's leaving this for that. I'm like, I don't get it. And the best compliment that I got was like, Amy, she's like, you're all Beachbody. Like, if you left, I'd be like, what, you know, like, you are truly Beachbody. I'm going to take that as a compliment, because from them, they've seen my lifestyle change. They've seen my kids change. They've seen my health. They've seen everything. And I just, that made me feel so good that I know that I'm doing the right thing, because this is where I need to be. And I went from 0 Success Club in 2017 that I just looked the other day. I was like, wow, I have 18. It's not a ton, but that 18 was only in a couple of months. And now I have that traction. And for me as a teacher, even though it's just a few $100s a month, I'm proud of that, because I'm not spending money. Because initially I was told, you gotta do this advertising, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. And honestly, I pretty much did it without my husband's consult, which was just wrong to begin with. I was like, I'm going to do this and make it. And that wasn't the right way. And now with finally doing personal development, like, I am open. Like, I am the product of the product. Remission, doctor kicked me out. Like, I'm good. My husband, I tell it all. I'm like, listen, I'm on a call tonight. I'm making this happen. You know, may not be a millionaire this week, but we're going to make income. You know, I'm not spending the money to do it, because I drink the shake religiously. Energize, I'm addicted. You know, I'm working out. My kids see it. It's no joke, you know? So exactly. So like, I will make this work. And it's only 2 years. You can't expect to be a professional or be proficient at anything with just that short amount of time. So like, I'm all in. And I guess for me, knowing that I do have an upline that I can fall back on if I have questions, because I honestly don't understand the whole business aspect, and I'm learning and I'm teaching and myself how to do that. But I like the fact that you guys obviously know what you're doing, so that I have somebody that I can just be like, hey, can you help me out? You know, I'm grateful.
Absolutely. Amy, so you're basically, with this mastermind group, you're going to be able to absorb a lot of business knowledge and education, but also doing what you're doing. The change happened for you because you stopped pushing so hard. And then all of a sudden it was almost like things start coming to you, because all you're doing is just, I'm just going to do my workouts. I'm going to drink
I'm showing, I'm not telling, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
that's all you need to do. I'm showing, not telling. You know, if anybody sees me, you know, that's my lifestyle. It is what it is, you know, and it feels really good now, 7 months of really truly doing that. Because really that first year was a joke, you know, like, honestly, like it wasn't anything. The diamond was like a fake status. Like, now I'm just coach, but I'm very proud of just being coach, because I have women in my group that I've reconnected and I've brought back, because everybody's so into like on their phone, not paying attention, text message. I call them and they're like, what's up? And I was like, hey, how are you doing? I'm going old school on you guys, you know, like, we're going old school. We're going to have phone calls. We're going to meet in person. That phone is put away for that amount of time.
I love it.
You need
to. I think that trend is starting to come back into society, where people are like, can we just be human beings and speak face to face and just get away from the digital shit for a while?
It's definitely true. I see it more and more, where I've seen people switch to the flip phone because they don't want to be on it, right? Is that insane? I'm like, let's bring out the old block. But I was like, what is that? But
I buy a vinyl album. I'm buying a vinyl album next week.
I gotta go old school records, man. I love it. But that's that's my mindset, because I want my kids to understand, go get they have chores. You go do your chores and you go get your butt outside and play. You're not going to be on electronics. You're not going to be on TV all day. And because our society is now the age of entitlement. As a teacher, I see it. And I think go read a book. I see going that route, where, you know, once people get over these quick fixes of all these other gimmicks and other things, like, unless you're doing the work, it's not going to matter. That's awesome that you're thriving. And I love the fact that you're losing weight, but the minute you stop because you haven't exercised or you're doing whatever, it's not going to matter. No. Unless you change your lifestyle, it means nothing.
Yeah. So Marianne and Ellen, awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here. I know you missed quite a chunk of the first part, and it's all been recorded. So I won't rehash a lot of the good stuff that we've talked about, you know, regarding what's happening with the company, what happened to me, and what Bob and I are doing now. But it's good stuff. So I really encourage you to listen to the recording, because you'll get a lot out of it. But anything else that anybody wants to share? Lou, hey buddy, it's good to have you here, man.
I was just wondering if you know anything about the 2B Mindset certification.
I don't.
I believe it. I believe it's September.
Yeah, they're going to let us know about it in August.
I believe.
Oh, in August. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to let us know about it. 'Cause we're ready, aren't we, Lisa?
Well, I love that program.
What they shared from Summit sounded really exciting. It's going to be a real in-depth certification about really how to, as cool as 2B Mindset is, and if you've opened that up and started to play, you can see it's pretty cool, but also you can see, wow, I'd love to have some training on how to best bring this to people.
Yes.
So that is pretty
Very
exciting.
good. And
I also throw out there too, because just one more thing, Amy, I think you raised a good point in terms of leveraging your upline. And again, the more you hang out with me, you're going to hear that one of my favorite words in this business is leverage, because that's what this business is all about. Nobody should do this on their own. Although Don and I will be working together to bring this bi-weekly mastermind group, and everybody's still on Team Euphoria, for everyday support, for your new coaches support, please make sure that you all also are over on the Bearcat coach support and training page, because you can leverage that. I have Emerald Dashes going. We have a page for brand new coaches. We have Diamond Dashes, 2-star Dashes. That either you guys can participate in, but more importantly, I want you guys to be aware of tools you have to plug your coaches into, because nobody does this on an island. Again, that's what we're going to talk about in this mastermind group: how to maximize comp plan, how to best leverage your resources of your team and organization, where those are, how to make this easy. So I just wanted to chime in on that, because that was a great point, Amy, and your question kind of brought that to the forefront. So I didn't want to interrupt if anybody else has any last thoughts. Oh, Lisa, you started to talk. Go ahead.
No, that's awesome. No, the only other thing I was going to say is I just want to say thank you for doing this call. Thank you, Don, for everything that you shared. I've been following you, so I know what's been going on. So totally understand. I know.
And it's a wholehearted apology. I wish I had been, it's almost like when I hit that burnout, I was like, I just stopped. I stopped, and I just stayed focused on the gyms and the kids. And every other week I'd go, I gotta leave a message on the team page. I gotta tell them, like, I'm not in the right headspace. And instead I just went silent.
Well, let me tell you what that taught me, though, because I appreciate that, but I understood. So you're forgiven. We love you. But what your experience in not piping up, this is what it taught me. Because pretty much for the month of August, I'm tuning out, because I have a family member doing a procedure, school starting, we're moving back into our remodeled home. I'm not going to have internet. I mean, it's just going to be crazy. I just need to take August off. So just so you know, that taught me something, because tonight I'm going live in 2 of my groups to tell them, look, all I can manage is holding myself accountable in this one group. So everyone's got to be in this group, and here's what's happening for August. And I'm just going to tell them what's going on.
Transparency is key.
But that I still need the accountability, and I'm still here for you. But
Lisa,
yeah.
Why don't you delegate to some of your coaches? That's why we have teams. That's why.
And see, that's one of my weaknesses is I'm not a delegator.
My coaches share.
Leaders. You're going to hear a lot of that in this mastermind group. Yeah. That's how you build leaders. We all want to do it all, but
I know
we're going to shake that off.
Somebody else do coach basics. I can't do this again.
I have 3 coaches that share. I have 3 coaches that share in all of my. We have 3 or 4 groups going on my challenge tracker. We share posting. If I would lose my freaking mind, I'm like, I don't have time. It's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm still like, oh my god, I gotta post. But
that's golden.
And, on our virtual fitness pages, our virtual community pages, you're on all of my pages. Yeah. Julie and I share posts. So my success partner and I share posts. So Mondays and Wednesdays, I will post. Tuesdays and Thursdays, she will post. We'll use each other's posts, because it doesn't matter. It's not going out in the public. It's just on our community.
Yeah.
And a virtual community is something everybody absolutely needs to have, right? To house your people that were in groups.
Yeah.
So we do that. And then whoever posts on Friday or the weekend first, we'll just use that post from the other person. But if you don't do that, you're being not present for all of your people. You don't even realize how quick people are going to go, oh, they're not interested anymore. And so like I told Dawn, I said, you need me to run Team Euphoria page. I will do this. I'll just put whatever I put on my page on that page, you know, because I keep up with it because I don't want people to lose interest.
Yeah, you're awesome, Shannon. Again, the most helpful coach in the network is undoubtedly, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you. But you know what? That's just me. And I want people to be engaged. And if I have to take some time off, you can darn well bet that I'm Julie post on my page, right? So.
It's awesome. That's fantastic. All right, guys. Well, I really am happy to have connected again with so many of you. And, you know, I hope everything that we've said tonight makes sense. If you want to talk one-on-one about just anything specific you got on your mind that you didn't want to share here on the call, please just send me a private message. Happy to talk about anything and share my heartfelt thoughts. And I will say this from the bottom of my heart, Greg and Christine Plaskett are very close friends of mine, and I love them to death. I really do. And I wish them the best. I really hope it works out for them. I was surprised. But, you know, everybody has things come along in their life, and you have to make the decisions that you feel are best for you. And I take my hat off to them, and I hope they do well.
They'll do well.
I really do.
Oh, they'll do well. They do well.
They'll do well. Yeah, exactly. That was that's their season. That's what they need to do.
Wholeheartedly agree with. Yeah, wholeheartedly agree with everything Dawn said. And for anybody who's watching the recording, by the way, you know, I want to extend the same offer. Reach out to either one of us or both of us, or any questions for either, whether you're here live or catching the recording later. That's part of the message here, really, is reopening dialogue.
When I put the recording up, I'll post the recording on the page, and then once you've decided, yay, I'm in this mastermind thing, or no, I'm good, I'm just going to continue to do my own thing, or maybe even part ways, whatever, just comment and be transparent with it. Like, I really want you to be transparent. If you feel like, not for me, I'm going to move on, let us know. It's totally fine. Just start that thread as to whether or not you want to be part of this or not, and we'll go from there. So appreciate it so much. All right. Be cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you guys.
Everybody.
Yeah, you too. It's great seeing you.
Bye.
Bye.